Move and groove. This is a mobility circuit that we're gonna do together. We're gonna go at the same time, you and I, and I'm gonna give some variations for the exercises here, a level 1 and a level 2 variation to some of the exercises. Move and groove, what is that? It is a series of mobility exercises that are built in a circuit, and these mobility exercises have a specific flow to them, which allows us to go through the movements non-stop. So we're gonna go through 4 total sets, with the first set going a little bit slower just to be able to understand the exercises. Once we get through that first set, we're gonna start to groove with the movements and then go through them non-stop in 30-second intervals. So once we start, we're not gonna stop until we get to the end. Let's start off with some deep breathing, because what we want to do is we want to link our breathing with the movement, and you'll hear me remind you throughout the session to breathe with your movements. So we're going to start off first with something called quadruped breathing. Quadruped is a fancy way of saying we're going to get down on all fours, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Now, let's go ahead. I like to tuck the toes right here. Let's make sure our back is nice and long. So tuck the chin, think long head, long tailbone. Now, what I want you to do is here, I want you to lock out those elbows and press those arms on the floor, surrounding the upper back. Tense those abs. With the breathing, we're trying to expand our rib cage, get as much space, open up your rib cage and spine. We're gonna take 5 deep breaths. Now, I know you can hear me because I got the mic attached. So let's go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Remember, expand the rib cage. There's 2. As you're breathing, think about taking your breath through your upper back into your belly. There's 4. Let's go for 1 more. Keep that tension. All right. So now we got some breathing done. What I want you to think is breathe into those tight areas that you're feeling, because we're going to hit some areas that might be a little tight. I want you to breathe into that part of the body. I know it's weird. How do I breathe into, let's say, my hip? Just think about your hip and channeling your breath towards it. I know it sounds a little woo-woo, but it's possible to kind of channel that area, to think about what muscle, what area you're trying to relax and also stretch. So during this, you're gonna get your heart rate up. But the whole point is we want to stretch our muscles, which means we also need to be in more of a relaxed, calm state. So you might be hearing me say, hey, let's pick up the pace a little bit. We're trying to pick up the pace, but we're not treating it as some sort of like high intensity, go, 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 go type of workout. All right, so let's get to it. Again, I'm gonna show you all the movements first, a level 1 and a level 2 variation, and then we're gonna go through this together at the same time. So let's start off with our first one. This is called a 10-2 lat stretch. So in this quadruped position right here, I'm gonna take my left arm, I'm gonna reach to 10 o'clock. From here, I'm gonna drive the hips back. Exhale. As you drive those hips back, we're trying to feel the stretch in the shoulder along the lat. Hold it for a second, switch sides. Left arm extends to 2 o'clock. Exhale, keeping that arm straight, driving the hip away from the shoulder. Let's do it again. Right hand to 10 o'clock. Hips are moving away as I'm reaching that right arm forward. Exhale on the movement. Inhale, left arm to 2 o'clock. Exhale. Let's go 1 more per side just for good measure. Right there. All right, next up, we're gonna get those hamstrings and calves Now, in this quadruped position, let's tuck those toes. From here, we're going to extend our knees, and we're trying to drive those heels into the floor. Now, as you do this, I want you to really press through your upper back. Drop the knees to the ground. Exhale. Into the movement. Drop those knees down, all right? For level 2, if you want to make this a little more challenging, we can go up, and you can touch opposite hand, opposite foot. Go both sides, right, left. Bring it back down. Level 2, touches opposite hand, opposite foot. It's going to increase the stretch you feel in the hamstring and calf while also working on your shoulder. So that's the second exercise, quadruped knee extensions. From here, we're going to flip it around onto our butt, and we're going to do a bridge. So level 1 is a glute bridge, lying on the back. We're just going to lift those hips up as high as we can and down. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Glute bridge. That's level 1. Level 2 is going to work a lot more on your shoulders and triceps. We're doing a full bridge. So for this one, either have your fingertips facing the side or fingertips facing away from you. What we want to do is drive those shoulders back. Think proud chest. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Drive those hips up, trying to get those hips level with your shoulders and knees. Drop it down. Exhale. Into the movement. Inhale on the way down. All right, now if your shoulders are really tight and you just can't quite get up there, do the glute bridge variation instead, level 1. All right, now at this point, we're bringing it up. And now we're on to exercise number 4. We're doing a Cossack squat. So level 1, we're gonna be in a super wide stance. Think wider than narrow, all right? Super wide stance, we're gonna bend down and we're gonna try to reach opposite hand, opposite foot. Stand up, switch sides. Make sure we exhale into the movement. You should feel it stretching out the groin and inner thigh. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Level 2 is to keep an upright torso. This is more of a little bit of a strength exercise, Cossack squat. So we're getting down low as we can to stretch out the groin. Bring it up. Exhale. The way down. Inhale on the way up. Make sure you keep your feet flat to the floor. We don't want this heel to lift up. Keep it flat. Get down as low as you can while being able to stand up. What we don't want to do is this. We don't want that knee to collapse around your back. We want to be upright as we stand up. So Cossack squat is going to be the 5th exercise. The 4th exercise. Exercise number 5, 5th and final. We're doing hip circles. So feet hip width apart, soft knees. We don't want to be too wide with this. Think a little more narrow. Soft knees, drive the hips to the side, push them to the back, bring them all the way around and forward. Once you're at the end, we're gonna move, we're gonna change the direction. Hang out in the area that feels the tightest. So for me, I'm really feeling that stretch there. So I'm gonna hang out here for a second before I switch. Still feeling it here. Then we go the other direction. Big circles. We want big circles with this movement. All right. Now, we've reviewed the movements. You know what to do. Now we're going to start the flow. So again, we got 30 seconds of each movement going on either level 1 or level 2. First round, we want to take your time. Understand the exercise. Second round, we're going to speed it up a little bit more. By third round, we're in the groove, and now we're just starting to move a lot faster through the exercise. Remember, link up your breathing. Try to stay relaxed while doing a lot of these exercises. 10 seconds till go time. All right, starting off first with our 10-2 lat stretch. Go at your own pace. Here we go. Right arm extends to the left to 10 o'clock. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up, then switch. Don't worry, you don't need a timer or anything. I will tell you when to switch and what the exercise is. Remember, as we're doing this, We're pushing our hips away from the shoulder, pulling those hips away from the shoulder. And here we go. Let's bring it down, flip it around. Nope, we got quadruped knee extension, so toes tucked. Let's straighten out those legs. Exhale on the movement. Inhale on the way down. Level 2, try to touch opposite hand to opposite foot. Another thing that's note on level 1, I want you to push through those shoulders like you're trying to get your chest to touch the toes. Flip it around. Let's bring it on the back. So we got level 1, glute bridges right here. Exhaling into it. If you want to work more of those shoulders and arms, level 2, full bridge. Driving those hips up, making sure shoulders are pulled back with the full bridge variation. Bringing it up, we got Cossack squats. Here we go, wide stance. Level 1, reaching opposite hand to opposite foot. Level 2, staying nice and tall, getting deep in that Cossack squat position. Exhale on the way down, nice and strong on the way up. Hip circles. Here we go, feet hip width apart, soft knees. Here we go, drive those hips aside, around, in front, then change directions. Exhale. In that hardest part, the area where you feel the most tension. Exhale into it. Stay there for a couple seconds. All right, round 1 complete. Let's bring it down. Round 2, 10-2 lat stretch. You're gonna notice my pace is gonna change. Going a little bit faster now. But again, go at your own pace. If you want to spend more time in the stretched position, feel free. If you want to get your heart rate up a little bit, go a little bit faster. All right, here we go. Knee extensions, let's get it. You can notice my pace is a little bit different. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna reach opposite hand, opposite foot. I'm gonna just alternate sides of this one now for my level 2. That's the cool thing here, freedom of movement. All right. Find what works well for you. If you also just want to stay here, you want to wag that tail, feel free to do so. Remember to push through the shoulder blades as we're up there. Got 2 seconds left here. Flip it around. We got our bridges, either glute bridge or full bridge. I'm going full, level 2. You also hear that my breathing cadence is increasing as I'm increasing the reps as well. Remember, we want to breathe with our movements. One more rep. There we go. All right, let's bring it up. Cossack squats. Here we go. Wide stance. Turn those toes out. Let's bring it down. Level 1, touching opposite hand, opposite foot. Level 2, going left to right. You can see here, pace. Pace is definitely different from the first set. Again, now that we understand these exercises, we might be a little bit looser on this second round, so we can actually get a little bit deeper into the position. Hip circles. Here we go, feet hip width apart, soft knees, big circles. Switching directions with every rep. Got to catch my breath. Moving a little fast, it's kind of getting away from me. If you notice your breath is getting away from you, scale back. Turn down the pace a little bit. All right, here we go, round 3, third and final round. Let's get it, 10-2 lat stretch. Getting the pace up here, it's the last round. Still relaxed. Breathing's going up a little bit. Definitely feeling warmer. Feeling a lot looser as well. I hope you are, as you're doing this, feeling looser. in those joints. All right, next up, we got the knee extensions. Let's get it. Toes tucked. Extend those legs. I'm going full level 2 on this one, trying to touch opposite hand to opposite foot with every rep. If you can't quite get that, that's all right. Stay at level 1. That's where you're at today. You do these often and consistently, you will get to level 2. I guarantee it. You just have to do it consistently. And here we go. Flip it around. Full bridge. Same here. If your shoulders are super, super tight and you can't quite get your hips up, your hips are stuck right here, we got to loosen up those shoulders. Well, this is a wonderful exercise to do. There's plenty of other mobility drills you can do to help loosen up your chest and shoulders. And last rep. There we go. Let's bring it up. Cossack squats. Here we go. Getting wide. Sticking with level 2 all throughout these moves here. Remember to breathe. Last thing right here, hip circles. Let's see it. Almost done. There we go. Move and groove complete. I want to know, how do you feel? Do you feel a little more loose? Do you feel warm? I definitely do. I'm like on the verge of sweating. Did you get your heart rate up a little bit? Overall, do you feel better than you did 10 minutes ago before you started this? If that's a yes, then let this be a reminder for you to do this often. For some reason, we neglect the things that make us feel good. I understand that this takes time and there's a place for it. We gotta prioritize this movement hygiene that we have. Because this type of mobility stuff will serve you immediately, but also it'll serve you years down the road by just making sure that your joints are healthy. So I want to hear from you. How did you like this? Because I have plenty more of move and groove circuits to do. I'd be more than happy to showing you. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. And I'll catch you next time.